So we must do two things, two great things together, to encompass that enormous new view that lies before us, but to encompass it within the framework of science, to see it within the whole categorical framework of science, and to see that these two are not separate, but that they are wedded. The bigness of the idea, the newness of the idea, the greatness of it is one with the structure of science, the structure of being itself. So we're looking at mind, and we come now to the level of Christian Science. And you can follow that in your material. You see now that we make the descent to the level of Christian Science, and we see now how all that mind is, what we've seen in the level, on the level of science itself, and divine science, and in absolute Christian Science. Now this is a great power of impulsion and impact to the human level and on the human level. It's breaking in upon the human level. And as the word, it comes to us first of all as what? As bringing the wisdom of mind. It brings the whole wisdom of mind to us. And we see that that term wisdom is the first term in the order of the third degree. So keep that in mind as a kind of a side note in mind, that whenever we come to this point of intersection in whatever synonymous term we're going to be looking at, we will take the term that appears in that order of the third degree. And here, as mind, it is wisdom. You remember that third degree? And so what's happening here at the point of A, you see that we're looking at A on the Christian Science level. And what's happening here is that there is that great influx into human consciousness. It is an influx that is coming and breaking in on human consciousness and brings what we have called the gifts of mind. Why do we call them gifts? You see, because they are unearned. Everything that appears here in A is like a grace. It's the grace of mind. It's the gifts of the grace of mind. And every synonymous term will give us its gifts of grace, so that we find that what we receive from the synonymous term is not because of us, but in spite of us. In spite of what we are humanly, in spite of what qualities or characteristics we have or don't have. You see that you can't work for it. You can't earn it. You can't make it happen. It's actually a divine gift to the human. So that's why, you see, we can never say, well, I think I'm going to be wise. I'm just going to do the wise thing. I'll be wise about this situation. We don't know what that is. Humanly, we don't know what it is to be wise. You see, we can't select or choose to be wise. So where does wisdom come from? It's the divine mind itself, you see, that comes and knows the wisdom in the situation, knows what to do and how to act and how to proceed and how to move. All of this is coming forth out of the intelligence and the all-knowing of the divine mind, and it makes its impact upon us in a form that we can understand, in a form that we need to have when we're dealing with a situation that requires us to act or move or know or do. And so you see that it is that gift that the human can never decide to be wise. It can only lend itself in going to the one mind, in dropping itself off and in going to the one mind. And then we are really filled with and imbued with the wisdom to do what mind wants us to do. So what else is mind? What else does mind do? It comes and it illumines us. You hear it again. Can I say, I think I'll be illumined today? I think I will be enlightened today. I've decided that I'm going to be enlightened. No, we can't. We never know when that's going to break in on us. All that we can do is to entertain the beauty and the glory of what mind is, and then we can be sure that we will receive those gifts of mind. That enlightenment of mind, is so much connected with the light of the first day of creation, that we are lightened, we are enlightened, that let there be light. That wonderful law of the days of creation it's embedded really within the greater law of interdependence in the Word. So it's a let there be, and there was, and it was good. Every day is stamped with that. Let there be, and there was. You see, there's no chance that it won't be so, that we won't be influxed by that wisdom of mind, and it will always be good. It's really from above, from above. So what that law of life, truth, and love is bringing, it's the law of absolute Christian science now, breaking in and saying, let there be light, even though you haven't earned it, even though you don't deserve it, humanly. So all that stuff, that second degree stuff of, have I been good enough? Do I know enough? Will I be able to see it? Or either thinking one isn't equipped to be able to see it, or on the other hand thinking, oh yes, I know so much about mind, therefore I know what to do and I know how to act, and I'm a wise, we just think we just are a wise guy, So all that second degree stuff, the second degree without the impact of the first translation, goes out, and we just find that we are under the impact of that first translation, really under the impact of the infinite, the divine, the absolute, and that we can't help but to be just immersed in that light of the one mind. So it just deals with so much, that claim that one isn't very bright, or one isn't very intelligent, or that we're slow, or that we can't get the subject, or the claim that we're very, very bright, we're very quick. We can get the subject. See, both of those have to go out. They have to bow, they have to yield before mind itself. So this is where vision comes in, you see, where vision comes from. It's that gift of mind, to have the vision of mind, to have the insight of mind. We don't decide that. We don't decide to be inspired. I think I'm going to be inspired today. I think I'm going to make a new discovery. I've decided to discover something. You can see how ridiculous it is. We can't decide to make a new discovery. That's a gift, and it's a precious and beautiful thing when one finds that one is standing in the light of a new discovery, and it was totally unpreconceived. So you see that actually that wonderful sense of discovery is coming everywhere. It's coming to everyone. It fills the universe. That light of mind fills the universe. And that's why you have discovery and you have creativity in every field of endeavor, in every discipline, in all the sciences. Even those that we used to think were not very, very good disciplines, not very worthwhile disciplines, in the old Christian Science sense, that one would feel, well, medicine is not a good thing, and psychology is not a good thing, and philosophy is not a good thing. But these are disciplines that are seeking the light, that want more light on the question, on some particular branch and aspect and question of being. And this is not a bad thing, is it? To want to have more light on the question of being and to approach it in a certain way. Okay, let's let the divine mind purify that. Let's let science, capital S, purify all those sciences, and it is. And even those disciplines that we're not feel so close to or so fond of, like medicine and psychology and philosophy, even they have breakthroughs, you know. Even they see more light because of this law of the multidimensionality of mind, the influx of mind everywhere in consciousness. So they are being really enlightened right out of themselves and into the capital S, science, and into the capital M, mind. So we are just under that flow and that flood every day, every moment. Isn't that wonderful to wake up and know that we can consciously claim that and know that? You can know really what to do, that it's possible to know what to do and how to do it, and we can be conscious of the laws that govern that and that work through the 7 synonymous terms and their ideas. And so mind comes and it's informing us now. These all belong really to the sense of the word in the A of Christian Science. So it isn't just that mind is that infinite and eternal realm of information, but it comes and informs us when we need it to inform us, which is all the time, all the time. Yeah. And mind bestows then all faculties. It gives us all the faculties that we need. You see, those are coming out of the fact of the all-knowingness of mind, mind knowing all in divine science, perceiving all, apprehending all, seeing and hearing all that there is of itself, and itself having every ability and capability. That is the great source from which all faculties are coming to us. What would those faculties be? It would be spiritual hearing, to be able to hear and see and sense and feel and know spiritually, and to foresee and foretell, foreknow everything that we need to know. These are the faculties that mind gives us as its gifts. So that would be mind at the point of the word, what it is as it comes to us. And then we see that mind does something in the Christ, that there is an action, an activity coming in, an operative sense going on, that mind becomes for us a divine influence, that we're influenced divinely. Can you hear that has all to do with the Christ, with this something moving, something coming in to us? You see, you should be able to hear that it's a flowing in, a coming in, but it's a power. It has a power sense behind it. And from the standpoint of the Christ, what we have in absolute Christian Science is that mind is emanating ideas. Remember that? If you look above, you see that in that same standpoint of the Christ in absolute Christian Science, mind is emanating ideas, and so we are under the flood of that, the impact of that, and that's the influence of mind. The influence of mind is the influence of those ideas of mind emanating forth from mind, coming to us. And mind, therefore, stimulates us. You see, it makes us move. It makes us act. It causes us to act and to do something. Not just to be static or stagnant and unmoving, but it's stimulating. It's inspiring action and movement, and guiding and leading us, therefore. You hear the movement in that? The Christ expressive movement coming right to us. You get really a beautiful cybernetic sense of mind here as it is coming to us as that ability to steer, to lead, to guide, and to direct everything. This is typically divine cybernetics, which we know has so much to do with the Christ idea. And then we come to Christianity, and we are asking, what is the relationship of that level of Christian science to mind? What is it now at the point of Christianity? And we see that mind, which comes to us as wisdom and insight in the Word, and is leading us and guiding us in the Christ, is leading us where? Into the realm of mind, into the realm of Christianity. And that is the realm of the consciousness of a great association of ideas. I love that. That sense of the association of ideas going on within us. That's actually what we're doing right here as we're speaking together and weighing these things together, that there's something terrific going on within the human consciousness. There's this associating of ideas to ideas, and ideas to the synonymous term, and the synonymous term to other synonymous terms, and the 7 to the 4, and the 4 to the 4, and the 7, the 4, and the 4 to the 1. It's just a tremendous sense of that unending, unlimited realm of association going on, associating ideas with ideas. It's a beautiful thing. And so when we come to science then, mind as science, and we say, well, what does science tell us about mind and its ideas? What ideas really are characterizing mind as science on the level of Christian Science? Mind at that point is seen to be a science. So we get that term, mind science. As though science would say, this great association of ideas, this is, from my standpoint, mind science. And it comes as our being able to comprehend, to know as mind would know through the science of mind, through mind science. So just let your eye and your spiritual eye go back in the order now, and you see that in divine science we had that sense of the information principle and of being able to comprehend all, that mind itself comprehends all. And you recall that we had that sense of comprehending not only as understanding but as enfolding and holding within itself, that mind itself comprehends all. And now we see that we are given that comprehension. We are able to comprehend the science of mind through that science. And finally, we could see that it comes to us as the mind of Christ, really giving us the mind of Christ. In a way, that seems to be the highest idea that we have on that level of Christian Science at the point of the A, that we are given the mind of Christ, that this is the gift. It's given to us under the impact and the influx of those laws of life, truth, and love. We are really given the one mind. Yeah. Isn't that beautiful? All right, so then we come to B, and B is going to answer the question, how does mind come to its suppositional opposite? You notice that it isn't, how does mind come to its opposite? It's, how does mind come to its supposed opposite? The appearance, that which appears to us to be an opposite. We never say, the system never says, there is an opposite and you must deal with that. But what we're dealing with is the suppositional opposite. And what does mind do in the face of that? As the word, we have a word sense now coming in. We see that mind is the medicine. What is that medicine, really, if we now can draw upon everything that we've seen about mind? What would we realize that medicine to be? It's really all of the ideas of mind, isn't it? That whole vast field of ideas, that whole scientific field of ideas is able to do something in the face of a supposed opposite. It's able to come and break through and take the form that we need in that situation. And so it comes as the medicine, that which we can use, make use of, in order to resolve the claim of an opposite. And then we come to the Christ, mind as the Christ. Then what is it doing? What is that medicine doing? It's controlling the situation. This is typically the Christ. You feel the sense of power. Controlling the situation, regulating that situation. That's a Christ activity. Again, the power sense, the cybernetic sense of that regulation, of being able to express the power, to control and govern the circumstances, to be a controlling factor within consciousness, to be able to right and righten that state of consciousness that needs to be changed. And so as Christianity, we get the result of that, the outcome of that, which is that it is healing, it heals and saves the situation. And you hear that that's an outcome, that's the result. Isn't it beautiful? It's so clear. We wonder why we didn't see it, didn't see that calculus there before, and it's so self-evident. And finally, as science, mind as science says, yes, to my sense, you see, that word and that Christ in Christianity, that healing, that controlling, that medicine is just one thing going on. That's me, that's science going on. That's the correction of mind. That's the correction of mind. So science lifts it up and views it as the cybernetic correcting activity of the one mind. You remember that we saw that absolute Christian Science was the error preventing activity, but that Christian Science is the error correcting activity. And here we get that correction when we need to see it in the realm of a supposed opposite or counterfeit. So these two are going on, the A and the B, The A as mind breaking in and bringing us everything that mind is. Bringing us everything that mind is, you see, as the infinite, as the divine, as the absolute. And bringing it right to the human condition. And the B, then, of dealing with any claim of another power, another intelligence, another action at work.